All right, hello and welcome again everyone to another Willpop Vinyl video. This is going to be another vibe coding update. I haven't worked on the project for a while, obviously being away in Japan, coming back. It took me a couple days to get back into the swing of figuring out what I wanted to do with it. And the one thing I noticed while I was in Japan was that the mobile experience was really bad. I had done a little bit of work trying to optimize the website for mobile, but as I added more and more features, a lot of the various fields and prompting bars and all of that stuff was really starting to stack up and make it really difficult to use the app on the go. The app, it is going to be an iOS app, Android app eventually, and we're going to talk about that soon, but I just wanted to show everyone some of the stuff that I've added this week. So let me just shrink myself down and let's see. I'm going to go on the smaller side here because I want to be able to show more of what we've done. So a lot of this stuff is going to look familiar if you've been following the videos. One thing I added that was a user request is this export feature. So if you filter your want list down by country, say, France, for example, someone actually posted in the YouTube comments saying that they wish that they could easily export a PDF of all of their collection, from a particular country, all of their want list from a particular country, to send to record stores in those places to see what they have. So that was an easy enough add. I actually added that before the trip, but yeah, that's there. And we'll probably find a place to hide that. It doesn't really need, it's really just a feature probably only this one person uses, but we'll find another place to put that, maybe up in, I don't know. It's not really doing any harm right now. I've added quite a few records to my want list. My collection's obviously grown a bit with all of the additions from Japan in here. Let's see. I think, let's take a look at what's new here. The changelog has been updated a lot. So the most interesting feature that I added this week that I'm most excited about is not really one that you would use from the website per se. So if you see up here, it says scan, identify a record from a photo. And we talked a little bit about this in theory in the last update. So the idea here is that if you're in a record store and you see a record in the bin or on the wall, and it maybe looks familiar, but you're not sure if it's on your want list, and or it just looks like it might be your type of thing, but you have to have them hand you the record, and then you take it out, and then you look it up on Discogs, then you might have to do some other searching. So the idea is to very simply take a photo of it and then have the AI identify the record based on the cover, or if the cover doesn't have any identifying information, like for example, this Costanza record here, which I got, which is really funny, doesn't actually have a album name or a artist name on the front. So when I tried running this through the scan, it wasn't able to identify it. But when I went to the record label, the label on the center of the record, it was able to find it. So there's some little quirks, right? You actually have to give it enough information. It's not going to image match perfectly, especially on a kind of obscure record like vaporwave release like this. It might do better on a more popular release, potentially. Yeah, but the idea is that you take a picture, it spends 15 to 30 seconds identifying it, and then running it against your taste profile that's been built off of your collection and want list, and then giving you a very quick assessment of whether or not you might want to get it. So good is the second tier assessment here, and says, so these are records I actually had that I haven't put into my collection yet. Some of the ones I bought from that basement dig a few weeks back. And it gives you a very brief little summary here, and it says I might like this because of some of my Pharoah Sanders and Dollar Brand and Coltrane, and but it didn't give me the maximal rating on it. So let me show you the other thing that I've really been working on, which isn't really new features necessarily, but it's optimizing for the mobile experience. So if I tab over here, I have this built up, and let me see if I need to move myself. Let's go over here. So I have this mocked up in my browser in the iPhone layout. So I cannot, I'm actually doing all this work on a PC, so in order to actually publish an iOS app, I need to have Apple device. I do have some Mac laptops, but I haven't tried, going through all those steps yet. I've still been just working on this experience, but I think I want to get there soon. So this is what it currently looks like when you access it from the web. So we've condensed a lot of this stuff down. So the little menu bar up here gives you the what's new, the guide, settings, dark mode, light mode, sending feedback. We've moved that all up into the upper right so that it's not cluttering the screen. The filters now, instead of living at the top, like that's fine for web browser, but it's not great for mobile. Now they kind of live in this drawer down here, and here's that user's export feature that they wanted. This doesn't look amazing, right? But this is just, is functional. Yeah, and then you can just easily take the filter back off, tab over to your collection, and then you can see here we've centered. So I figured if people are using this on the go, they're probably in a record store. So we've centered the photo thing here. Choose or take a photo, take or choose a photo. I mean, you could choose a photo from your photo reel or from the internet, but that's really not the idea, right? Like it's really more for like if you're in a store, take a picture and use something. So I just got this part actually implemented today. I've done a little bit of testing in my own collection, and I'm going to do some more testing to just verify that it's like good at identifying what's already in my collection. Then I can try to see, I could move some things out of my collection into my want list and take pictures to make sure it knows what's on my want list and not, do a lot of that kind of boring testing. But the true test is going to be taking it out into the wild, going to some record stores, starting to take some pictures and seeing how good it is at identifying stuff, and also like estimating match, right? So yeah, I think this is really cool. I think this is the type of feature that I haven't seen anywhere else. The idea is not so much as to tell you if it's a good deal to buy the record from a price perspective. It's not going to help you identify the precise pressing, because that would be really difficult, especially for really popular records that have so many different pressings, right? But if you have something that if you see something on the wall, see something in the bin, and you go, wow, that really stands out to me, I wonder if I would like that. Maybe there's no listening station in the shop. Maybe you just don't have time to sit and drop the needle all over the record and see if you like it. This is going to be hopefully a way to ballpark a blind purchase, right? So if you're, I don't love to blind buy. It's something that I've gotten out of the habit of doing as I've become, I don't want to say like a more mature collector, but since I'm still relatively new compared to a lot of folks, but certainly as I've become more experienced, I've realized how much blind buying can be punishing or regrettable. So the idea that this can give me some idea that I might like it, that appeals to me. And all the other stuff here still works too. Like you can still do recommendations. It keeps track of this kind of people thing and you're liked and disliked. We have the map, which jury's still out on if this is useful or not, and the playlists, right? Like I don't know. This was one of the original ideas, but I don't know how useful this will necessarily be, right? Like it's fun, it's low-hanging fruit, but do we need to have it? I don't know. Perhaps the real focus of this will just be on the take a picture, tell me if I would like it or not type of thing. Perhaps that's the direction that we're going to go. So yeah, I'm just going to keep this kind of short. Remind everyone that you can go to records-i-want.onrender.com. The URL will be below. If you want to log in with your Discogs, you can start playing with this for free. I've loaded up an account with credits, so you can use the AI features for free to a point before you'd have to replace it with your own key. And the last thing to mention is, so it's not an iOS app yet, but it's kind of annoying to have to keep tabbing either in Chrome or in Safari to the actual web page, especially when you're on mobile. So you can now, in Safari at least, there's a way to take a web page and turn it into an app icon on your home screen. or on one of your many home screens on an iPhone. So if you are interested in checking this out, I recommend you do that. The way that you do it is by going to the web page first in Safari, logging in with your Discogs, and then going down in the bottom there where the little URL field is, hitting the three dots, click share, and then scroll through share until you find add to home screen. You'll find it down there. And when you do, it'll compress that web page into a little app icon that will then go on your home screen. So that way you can use it like it's an app. It's not an app yet, but it gets you close enough. And that's just more convenient, right? I was struggling like opening up Chrome, and then it makes me log in again and blah, blah, blah. So try that. And that's it. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I don't know when I'll do the next update, because at this point, I think the next step really would be to test it and then think about how much I like this photo feature, and potentially then work towards wrapping it into an iOS and Android app. So I feel like that's the next big hurdle, unless anyone has other ideas for features and such that maybe this video has inspired you to recommend to me. I'm down for any recommendations or ideas, whether it's features and functionality or aesthetic. That's like my weakest area. So if you feel like this could look a lot better and you have ideas how, also post that below, and I'm happy to take your recommendations. All right, I'm going to end it here. Thanks again, everyone, for watching, and we'll be back again soon with another video.